Well, the last thing I want to bring up is kind of so it's a segment I've had in my head for a while, which I want to do to show us it's going to be recurring. And I'm going to call it LADbible Bashing.
Uh-huh.
So Garrod, what's your take on the old LADbible?
I think LADbible began as a meme-stealing, vile piece of shit, and now it's now.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I mean, you know what? Like, there was a point I used to not mind LADbible that much because there were weird things. Obviously, it started off, like I say, it was was it basically just a Facebook page? Is that where life started out for them?
I think so. I believe it was a Facebook
Yeah.
page where they just stole memes and then posted them.
Yeah,
And then
it was
obviously this was the turn of the time where people would pay for promos and people would pay for you to shill their shit, which they started doing, made pretty penny off of that, and then I think they made their own site.
Yep.
Where there was still stolen content with no credit. And they got to the point where they could start giving credit because they'd already made all of their money off of other people's backs. And it's just been lazy content ever since. Occasionally, they'll get in a good editor or someone with a bit of talent, but it's just some outside guy who's come in, some team who like has a bit of content that could easily work on something like Vice or BuzzFeed or whatever.
Like someone who actually does care about the content they're producing, essentially.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, because this is the thing. Like, there was a point where, especially when LADbible was really taking off, they were actually a decent place to get like news information from. Sure. It felt like like I said, I think again, it was close to your point. Maybe they just had people in charge then who cared about what they were producing. But the way I think of them now is they are just the most clickbaity piece of shit website now ever. And the reason why I want to have this recurring segment is because of the weirdest, most bizarre shit that I don't know why they're reporting on it. And if they are they like in favor with this person? I don't understand. So I think I brought this article up to you, and this is the one that kicked it off. It came out back in June. So here's the headline. Dad issues warning after having heart attack from downing 12 cans of energy drink a day. Yeah, I'll just let that sink in for a moment.
He issues the warning, does he?
He issues the warning.
I mean, you could skip that middleman and read the can.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go into a bit. So a man has warned people about the dangers of energy drinks after he suffered a heart attack from knocking back up to 12 cans a day for a year. So hang on, let me get the math up on that. Let me get the math. So if he actually drank 12 cans a day for the full 365? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 4,380 energy drinks he's potentially consumed in that 1 year.
That's $4,000 as well.
Yeah, right. If you're going off just like a pound a can, give or take. Dad, Lee Kamen, 55, had a cardiac arrest after working his way through a dozen energy drinks every single day. Lee from Hull now reckons the drinks ought to be banned and is urging shopkeepers not to sell them to under 16s. Well, for one thing, they are already technically banned to under 16-year-olds. Like if you go to Tesco and you try to scan one through the till, you have to get ID checked. So
you do.
They're already banned. I mean, so that's kind of redundant at this point. Although many supermarkets don't sell any drinks to children, it's not against the law of 160s to buy them. Okay, that's okay. So that's like that weird thing where it's like you have to be 18 to buy a cigarette, but you can be 16 to smoke them.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
No.
When I was younger, I would probably have about 4 a day.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here's the thing.
When I was a kid, I would have one before bed.
Yeah.
And you know what? I felt like shit. So
here's the thing. When you're a teenager, you're bulletproof, right? You can drink like me.
Like I was still skinny as fuck.
And
I was still fine, but
it's because you have the metabolism, and plus, like it's one of those things now. Where if I try and stay up for you just did a live stream for 35 hours. Like
I'm still recovering, and it was it's Thursday now, and it was last Saturday.
Yeah, right. I struggle even getting close to a 24-hour mark now. Whereas when I was a teenager, I could stay up and not feel it. But yet, me and my friend would have a sleepover, and we'd go to Little and buy I think there used to be like nearly 20p cans of energy drink, super cheap and gnarly shit, but we would just drink them and play video games all night.
Yep.
But yeah, like when you hit a certain point, I'll admit, like more or less now, a morning routine of mine, depending on the shift pattern I'm doing, is I will get to work and I will usually buy at least one energy drink, and that's kind of probably bad enough given I'm 28. So, but I know the risk because like if I even have like not even that much caffeine now, like even just drinking coffee, if I have like far too much of it, I can feel my heart like it's gonna go. You know what I mean? And this guy is, how old was he again? 55.
For me,
come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, at 55, I don't know. He just tried to make a story out of it, and probably got some kind of kickback, or just likes the bit of fame he got from it. What a fucking LADbible article.
Yeah,
it's fucking stupid. Like, the thing is, with me, I don't think they've ever worked for me. I don't think I've ever been kept up by an energy drink. I just don't think that's how I work. But I still drank them because of an addiction to them. That's why I did, 100%.
I think it depends on the one you're drinking, but then also it does work. It's just like it might not. I think what it is people think like I'm gonna drink this and I'm gonna. It's like say if you're watching like a cartoon or a kids program and someone drank an energy drink, they'd have wide eyes and like be moving super fast. It's like on Futurama where Fry drinks 100 cups of coffee.
I think for me, because I drank so much, and for this guy, obviously, for me because I drank so much. The tolerance of it.
Were you drinking
I drank
a
full sugar monster every day.
Okay,
I would drink 4 every day.
So what happened there is you sugar crashed. That's why.
Exactly.
You sugar crashed.
Well, this guy must be. What's he drinking?
Okay, right. So
even like the 0 sugar, you're still crashing on like the fake sugars, right?
No, well, so here's the thing. Like, I learned this. So if you do want to get an energy drink, if you feel like you need that kick, like essentially, energy drink should be a last resort if you're using it to stay awake. Because I remember once for reasons that were ridiculous, I ended up staying up and couldn't go to sleep before I had to do a full shift at when I worked in retail. I had to be there at like early in the morning until closing. I was so tired. I actually remember speaking to a manager before the shop opened, and when I tried to ask where she was, they told me she wasn't in that day. I was at that stage, and I basically looked up ways to keep awake because I knew I was going to struggle. They say don't only drink an energy drink as a very last resort because, again, as to our point, and if you do, don't ever get the sugar ones. Get the ones without sugar because you're more likely to have a sugar crash before the caffeine actually does anything.
Sure.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. So this guy is on 12 a day. He was drinking Red Bull and Monster. Essentially, because he works for a pub, he would go to Macro, obviously the big bulk superstore, and he was buying like 24 cases of like the 24 case of cans and would just fly through them.
Well, at least he's saving some money, so it's probably more like 3 and a bit grand, 3.5 or something. That's just a stupid fucking not a story. That is, we need to get some clicks. We need people to have this conversation about how much of a moron he is to click on it.
Oh yeah, and do you know what the crazy thing about it is like I'll get a picture and I'll flash it up when I do the edit. But when you look at the guy, he looks like a fairly healthy guy. Like they don't mention him in the article if there was because if he were a proper journalist, you try and find out, okay, was this guy a heavy smoker as well? What else could cover it? He looks like a healthy 55-year-old. So maybe it was strictly just drinking 12 energy drinks a day that did cause the heart attack. But again, dude, it says so on the can. Like I'm pretty sure even the can it says you shouldn't drink more than one of these a day, right? Like that's like their strict warning. Like
it says that if you've got any like anything wrong with your heart, don't drink it. Never mix it with alcohol either. And yet that's a staple in every bar.
Why shouldn't you mix it with alcohol? This is news to me.
Because one, I mean, alcohol. Does alcohol thin your blood? Is that a thing? Am I going crazy?
Yes, it does. That's why you shouldn't get drink and then get a tattoo,
Right.
because it will piss blood.
Well, you're thinning your blood and then speeding it up and something like that. You just shouldn't ever do it. It's on the bloody cans, and then it's also a Jaeger bomb is standard in every pub.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, like, and I'll be bringing up many more of these articles, but yeah, this is just the kind of shit LADbible reports on. But the thing is with these articles, you can never tell. It's like, are they agreeing with the man, or are they just literally giving a platform for this idiot to be like, to voice this like opinion and campaign? But it's like, realistically, anyone can read this and go, yeah, you know what, this was your fault, dude. Like, you can't blame energy drinks on this. You know what I mean?
I think they probably don't really have that much of an active thought on it. I think it's very passive, where it is purely people will click on this shit. I don't give a shit what they think. And I think that's probably the way it's intended to be read and written, where it's just click on dumb man. Click on dumb man because either you're dumb and agree with him, or because he's dumb and you're smarter than he is.
Yeah, totally agree, dude.